One of the biggest obstacles you may face as an introvert is the exhausting pressure of small talk. You're at a networking event, someone approaches you, and your mind goes completely blank. This pressure is so draining that it can even force you to avoid social situations altogether, leaving events early, hiding in the bathroom, or making up excuses just to escape. But here's the good news. There is a way to master small talk without burning out. Today we'll discuss how the question bridge method, the energy conservation strategy, and the depth redirect technique can transform your conversations and help you connect authentically without pretending to be someone you're not. So be sure to watch this video to the very end. Without further ado, let's get started. First, I need you to understand why small talk feels so impossible for introverts. When you feel like you have nothing to say in social situations, you're not actually empty of thoughts. You've simply been taught to play by extroverted rules that drain your natural energy instead of working with it. The problem isn't that you're bad at conversation, it's that nobody taught you the introvert-specific strategies that make small talk feel natural. The question bridge method. Here's the truth about small talk that nobody tells introverts. It's not meant to be the whole conversation. Small talk is just the entrance ramp, the lobby of a building. You don't need to stay there forever, you just need to find the right elevator to take you to a more interesting floor. That elevator is a strategic follow-up question. Think about what happens in most small talk. Someone says, "The weather's been crazy lately," and you agree, and then nothing. Awkward silence. But here's what most introverts don't realize. That sentence contains hidden threads you can pull to escape the surface level. The key is listening for any detail in their response, a word, a hobby, a place, a feeling, and asking a follow-up question that goes slightly deeper. Let me show you exactly how this works. They say, "The weather's been crazy lately." You respond, "Right? Have you been able to get outside much?" Notice what just happened. You acknowledged their comment, but immediately bridged towards something more substantive. They say, "Yeah, I've been hiking more." Now you ask, "Oh, nice. Where do you like to go?" Within 2 questions, you've moved from small talk to discussing their hobbies and favorite locations. This works because introverts are drained by prolonged, shallow conversations, but energized by depth. Research shows that asking questions also makes you more likable because it signals genuine interest. Small talk isn't the enemy, staying stuck in it is. Your job as an introvert is to become a master at building bridges out of it. The energy conservation strategy. Here's something most introverts don't realize. You're trying to compete in a game you can't win. Extroverts have solar charging. They gain energy from interaction. You're running on a fixed battery. When you try to match their endless enthusiasm, you drain yourself completely, and that's when you start looking for the exit. The solution isn't to talk more, it's to be strategic about when you talk. Use a 70-30 listening to speaking ratio. Listen 70% of the time, speak 30%. This isn't being passive, it's being smart. Psychology shows that people love talking about themselves because self-disclosure activates the brain's reward center. When you listen more, you're actually giving them what they want while preserving your energy. But here's the key. You need to listen actively. Use minimal encouragers, small verbal cues like, "Oh really? Tell me more," or "That's interesting." These keep the conversation flowing without requiring you to generate new content. When you do speak, make it count. Share a related story, ask a specific question, or make a meaningful observation. Quality over quantity. And don't forget the most important part. Give yourself social breaks. Step outside for 2 minutes, visit the restroom, check your phone in a quiet corner. These micro recharges allow you to stay present longer instead of hitting empty and leaving entirely. You don't need to be the most talkative person in the room to be the most memorable. You need to be the most present, and you can't be present when your battery is dead. The depth redirect technique. Here's the final piece of the puzzle. You don't have to stay in conversations that drain you. When small talk feels superficial or forced, you can tactfully redirect toward topics that genuinely interest you. And here's what happens when you do. Your authentic enthusiasm shows, and conversations become effortless. Think about it. You're at a party where everyone's talking about the same boring TV show. You have 2 options. fake enthusiasm, or redirect. Say, I haven't watched that, but I've been obsessed with this podcast about. Suddenly, you're talking about something that lights you up, and your energy completely shifts the conversation. People can sense when you're genuinely interested versus when you're just being polite. Here's how to do this strategically. Before your next social event, identify 3 to 5 topics you genuinely care about. Books, psychology, travel, technology, whatever moves you. When small talk stalls, use a transition phrase, like "that reminds me," or "speaking of which," or "I've been curious about." Then introduce your topic as a question or observation. "I've been thinking about how AI is changing creative work. Do you have any experience with that?" If they're not interested, that's fine. Let it go naturally and try another bridge. But more often than not, your genuine curiosity will spark their curiosity too. Authenticity is magnetic. The moment you stop performing and start genuinely engaging, people feel it and they want more of it. This is your superpower as an introvert.